this is today's panel. We'll share with you. Let's meet our panelists one by one. Yes, so first one is Amit Joshi. So, so he is a software engineer at Microsoft. Yes, and he is a winner of Smart India Hackathon. He has been part of that. He's a winner of that, and he's done his BTech in electrical engineering from IIT Pune. He's a 2022 graduate. So the most senior one in our panel, with having more than 4 years of experience of corporate life. So he's the first one. Yes, Amit sir is there. Then we have Ujjwal. So Ujjwal is a software engineer at Atlassian, and he's in PPO during his intern itself. And he's a graduate again in electrical from IIT Kanpur, 2025. And then last but not least, we have Vedansh. So he just completed his graduation from mechanical engineering from IIT Kanpur and is going to join as business analyst at McKinsey and Company. So did his intern there and is a PPO. He will be joining just this month or next month, not exactly sure. But yes, he's just going to begin. So he may be more like all the other participants who are joining. So he'll give you first-hand experience. And yeah, so this is our panel. Mr. Ujjwal and Vedansh for today. Yes, so I'd like to welcome all the panelists. Thank you for taking out your time, for taking up the opportunity, for enlightening all the students. Right. And I would say I would like to also welcome all the students also who are there for joining us today. Yes, so we'll have students joining. But yes, so good to begin with, I think. Yes, so we have Vedansh, Mr. Ujjwal all on the screens. Yeah. So, yes, let's have a quick, I would say, introductory question from all speakers. So, yeah, so just so that the students can know more about you, little more. So, just want to know all of from here from all of you also, like what can if you can describe your current roles and how was the journey in reaching your current job profiles? Like how was it from transition from college to corporate? So, if you can share a little bit of experience in that, it will be good to begin with, I think. Yes. So, yes, Amit sir, you'd like to go first. Being with you.
Yeah, sure. Am I audible, Gaurang? Hey, Gaurang, am I audible?
Yeah, sure. Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for the introduction, Gaurang, and good evening, everyone. Happy to be here today. So, Gaurang already mentioned that I'm currently working as a software developer at Microsoft. So, I joined here out of college. I was intern earlier in the Microsoft itself, and I received an PPO, and then I joined as a full time, and I'm working here from last 4 years. I'm working on a product called Power Pages. So it's one of the products of the Power Suite which Microsoft offer. You might have heard about Power BI. It's one of the well-known tools. And this Power Pages is something around website building tool for enterprise customers. So I work in that domain. So that is it's kind of an enterprise sector of the Microsoft where we build products for the businesses, Fortune 500 and other companies. So yeah, this is how I landed my role. Like it was an intern that which got converted. I was intern in the same team. And another thing which Gaurang mentioned around the hackathon. So this is what my college journey was mostly around. I used to taking part in various hackathons because it offers that real world challenge and exposure. So that was my interest during college time, and I think that helped me land this internship also because this was also through an hackathon kind of competition. So yeah, I think that's like in brief about how I landed here. So yeah, thank you.
Yes, that's great to hear. Yes, so you would like to go next?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'll start with the current position of mine in Atlassian. So I'm an SD1. I graduated last year and it's been around 10 months. I've been working in Atlassian. Um, I interned at Atlassian before and I got a PPO as Gaurang mentioned. And then I joined in August last year. I work in the support org. Basically, whenever a customer, be it an enterprise customer or be it small cohort customers, when they purchase anything from Atlassian, or even if you want to take any product from Atlassian and you want support for it, any technical support or non-technical support, if you come to Atlassian, the whole experience that powers it, the technology behind it, the live chat platforms and the communication platform that we have built from scratch, uh, our team has built that in last 1 year, replacing third-party software that Atlassian was using for a long time, and we have built an in-house platform for them. So that's around what I majorly do right now here. And yeah, happy to answer your questions and share my insights.
Thank you. Yes, Vedansh, how about you?
Sure. Hi, this is Vedansh. I'm a recent graduate from IIT Kanpur in the mechanical engineering department. I'm yet to join McKinsey. I'll join McKinsey next month. It is after an internship period wherein I received a PPO. The process of getting in was simple, straight through the placement office here at the institute. So the process includes you getting a resume shortlist and then you sitting for interviews, clearing out the interviews, and then doing your 2 month internship during the summer, and then receiving a PPO. Here in college, I was basically an active member of a debating society. And as far as the profession is concerned, as the name itself suggests, consulting is more about giving business advices to companies that come to seek them from the institution. So it's more about you working on their stated objectives, their priorities, and help them deliver their objectives in the best possible manner.
Great. So, it's a variety of job profiles I just heard. It's great to hear. Quite apt answer to the first question. That's great. So I think we have more students now. So just wanted to introduce. So today's topic, as I said, the Gen Z guide to focus on peace. So why we have this session, I would say. So first session we heard about like different job profiles, how people work life goes. The second was about the AI, which is I can say the hot topic today. But a third one, so the first two were more about how you can perform well at your career. But now a life is much more than a career. So this is more like how you can have a better life, having being in the corporate world itself. So that's why we have this today's session, which is a more broader topic and more broader thing to cover. So yes, so coming with the first question for all of you, I would say all the panelists, what has been the most challenging part of your college or professional journey so far, in which you felt the most stressed or demotivated or something, which was like it was a difficult phase to pass through. So if you can just share your experiences so that students can also relate more with you. Yeah. So anyone like to go first? Yes, Vedash, you like to start?
Okay. So obviously, since I'm a recent graduate from college, so it would be the most challenging journey that I faced in my college. I think that's you adapting with different curriculum because the engineering curriculum in itself is very diverse, wherein you are thrown at with different subjects other than your core department subjects, courses in humanities, other elective courses that you're supposed to choose. So I think it's adapting with different needs of different courses that are offered throughout your 4 years of engineering undergraduate. And I think finding that adequate balance of you focusing on your academics and then the normal extracurricular activities that you're involved in. So I think the most challenging part included me figuring out the exact amount of effort that I need to put in for each course or for each extracurricular activity so that I can fare well. And you need to do this measurement or calculation every semester based on the courses that you're a part of, the activities that you're a part of. So I think multi-management would be the most challenging part here.
Yeah, so I think this is something which most of students can relate to. We all have faced this era, I would say. Yeah. Great. Thank you, Vedansh. Yes, Ujjwal. So you
Yeah.
have, yeah,
So, two things. First, I would say was obviously the internship period in the college. It was uh, it was like the first major transition, if you say a transition from college life to corporate life. Similarly, from being in a college studying courses to getting into a corporate environment. That internship period, the preparation period, was a little bit demotivating for a lot of people because you aim a lot of things and then you uh, get selected for few things. Apart from the internship period, when I joined Atlassian as a full-time employee, that was majorly the most challenging part because around the same time, my team was having their launch, the what they were building for 6 to 7 months, and I joined around a month before that launch, and everything around that time seemed like every other task is urgent, every other thing is important, and even though they kept telling me that this is not how it is around the year, but uh, at that time it was really like that, and it is for any major launch. So that can be quite challenging around the times of launch or major releases for your team in an MNC or a company that you're working for. So that was a tough time for me. I was new in the team. Mentorship was hard to arrange. I had a mentor, but they were also very busy around that time. So yeah, I would say that was a tough time.
yeah, okay. And yes, Amit sir, you like to share something?
Yeah, for me also, I think it was the internship period. So when I joined the intern in Microsoft for the 8 weeks, so it was during the COVID period. So that was another added thing. So there was no in-person interaction, and my whole internship was virtual. And the learning curve was too steep, I would say. And my intern project, is still one of the infamous projects. I joined the same team after the intern, so I still like they discuss that project. And recently we had an intern group which joined us, and he was telling that I got to know about your internship experience, and I think the project and all was tough. So yeah, I think for me that learning was steep, and I think we all would relate during that internship period. Always this thing is back of my head's there that I would get the PP or not. If I would not get, again, you need to go through that whole preparation process. So you work with that added stress or some kind of anxiety about like what will be the turnout this internship. So yeah, that was a tough period, the internship which I had.
Yeah, so I think interns are more hectic than the actual job. But yes, so not for all students. So your challenge will keep on changing as you progress. But the tough times everyone would have. So yeah, thank you everyone. Now another question. So as your topic is focus and peace. So we already talked about this like low times which we all have. The second question I would say. So today we have like in today's situation we have endless notifications, reels, AI tools, and constant distractions. So yeah, so in such cases like we have so many distraction in today's situation. So how do you stay focused at your work? What do you think helps you to stay focused? Yes, Ujjwal, would like to go first. Time.
Yeah, sure. Before this session, I was thinking, like it's been 10 months and how I might have improved my focus. So, major things that came to my mind is that I find myself I find myself allotting time for focused work daily, be it in the weekdays or even uh, after the working hours. If I have to do something or if I am on call, I find myself making to-dos for the next day, allotting time, scheduling my work hours into meetings and focus time differently. This is a general guideline. If you go into an MNC, you will get a guideline to this to make have a good work-life balance. Apart from that, recently I also figured out that being a software developer, I am sitting on a chair for a long time. So treating my body good also helps me have some mental focus, better mental focus. So there is a thing called ergonomics. You can focus on how your workspace is designed. For particularly for Atlassian, the company allows you to work remotely, and I work remotely for a major part. So I focused on switching my workspace from working on my laptop to working on a monitor, a dedicated ergonomic keyboard. Uh, Ergonomic chair was always there, having a good mouse. These things can make a difference. I took a kind of ergonomics survey for your workspace arrangement. That was one thing. And then recently there was one colleague of mine. He had a major eye problem, and he went to the doctor, and then he posted this blog about what's up with Ram's ice breaks. So you have to develop this skill that rest is also a part of the work. You have to rest often while working, and that will improve your focus no matter what. It's not related to being Gen Z or millennial, but this is a good point to make, that you need to rest your mind. Need to have good sleep. You need to have a good morning. If you're a morning person, like I'm a morning person, so I like to have a good morning routine, and keeping care of your body. That is important. So these are like major things. Having some time for deep work and structuring your schedule really helps. And you have to distinguish between what is important and what is urgent, so you do not find yourself wind up in things that might not matter at the end of the day.
Okay, that was very nice, I would say. Ergonomics. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing, Ujjwal.
yeah. Should You should look into ergonomics. It helps.
Yeah, great. That's great. Yes, Amit sir, you like to share something from your experience?
Mhm. Yeah, so I was thinking about it. So I remember one of our leaders who was a product leader. So she shared this thing that having a 3-to-1 kind of metric. So having one major thing to complete in a day, two some minor or medium level things, and three some small tasks like sending some update, sharing some file. So these are some minor tasks. So I'm talking more from perspective of the day-to-day works. So there are some major things that you need to accomplish. So if you try to make your to-do also in this way, that 3-to-1, having one major thing to some media level, maybe a meeting, conclusion or something, and three minor things here and there. Because often this again a scientific thing that mind tries to cheat you in this like different kind of a small things, that maybe sharing some message to someone and all this, and you'll find sometimes your whole day goes into this, that replying to some message, giving some update, but actual accomplishment is not like much. And then at the end of the day you might feel that okay, I've not done much. So having this understanding, okay, if I complete this one major task, even if something comes up, some ad hoc is there, and I'm not able to do other two or three things, it's okay, I've done a major thing. So that will give you a good understanding and how to plan your day and all, because you'll find because there's limited things in your control in terms of there are some meetings with someone else, someone in your team is trying to plan and all, there's a group discussion. So you cannot always avoid that. So finding a slot, as Ujjwal also mentioned, that having that focus slot someday in the during the day, and you can try to complete that one major work so that you will have that accomplishment level. Another thing around, I think distraction is one thing. So this I think varies with person to person. So how, what is your distraction pattern and all. So slowly, if you try to observe things, you can find some triggers or some, maybe for someone it is like if the work is hard, they will try to watch some reels or do some other things. So because mind tries to avoid those things that which is hard or which is taking time. So you can find the pattern, like for you, what is the cause of distraction? Is it the work because you're not liking it, you're trying to distract yourself? Because there's this definition, right? Like distraction is the alternative attraction. So what you want to do, you're not able to do that, and you're trying to do something else because your mind is attracted towards that. So having this kind of understanding, okay, for you, what time works, what kind of task you prefer more, and what kind of things if the setup is like you're going to office and you're finding that maybe this person is a bit talkative, so you can find a place or a slot where you can first complete your work. So you will have that balance that you are having some time for your personal entertainment and other things, as well as you're able to complete the major things in the day. Yeah, I think itself is a big topic. We can talk a lot about it. But yeah,
Yeah,
this is something we can
certainly.
start with.
Certainly, I would say there's a lot of research also going on all of this. But yes, I also faced many times this issue. Uh, Great, Vilansh, some experience from you regarding from your internship or in general.
I think there are two major ways. One is either you can, let's say, put a hard fix on your distraction, which is by putting a strict limit on the time you use the apps that distract you, or putting a hard stop to everything that's distracting you. Or second is just, shifting your attention to something productive, which I feel requires a reason as to why you're doing it. So I think the major reason behind anything that's distracting is because uh, you don't feel that your priorities are priorities, and so therefore your mind takes down to an alternate route which it feels is enjoying. So I think getting to know or getting to understand the main reason as to why your priority should be a priority is the first step to begin with. So let's say either it be a short-term goal or a long-term goal. I think if that goal is particularly something that's important to you, you need to know as to why is it important, how is it going to help you uh, in your short term journey or in your long term journey. Once you get to understand that, and I think you can then make plans and schedules, as Ujjwal and Amit rightly pointed out, to go further ahead and then plan your day. And once you have your reason clear, I think it becomes easier to just focus on your priorities, and thereby naturally you start devoting lesser time to those distractions, because and this is a bit more sustainable as compared to a hard fix wherein you're physically forcing yourself to put a stop to those distractions, because that in my opinion is bit unsustainable. It is a bit difficult to do it for a longer period of time, for you to develop a habit of not let's say using those apps or anything that's distracting you for a longer period of time. So I think an easier way is just to know why your priorities are priorities, and therefore scheduling your day accordingly.
Yeah, great. Great. Two very good points, I would say. Thank you, Vilansh. Great. And I would say final question before we jump to the audience for their questions. So this was question from I would say from audiences. So Rishabh has asked this question. So and I would say this is an important one. So what gives you energy outside work? Like we have our work life, but a lot of time I've seen in my office also that people find a lot of strength from something which they do beyond their work, their personal life. So if you can share some aspect of that, what gives you the energy outside your work? Yes, Ujjwal, you can go.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I try to be active physically. That gives me energy. Like I get the context of the question can be more subjective, but I'm just telling what I feel energetic about apart from working as a software developer. So yeah, I try to be physically active. That makes me energetic. And I also try to meditate. I I play instruments. I play multiple instruments, so I am active musically. So yeah, that interests me. That is where I find myself sourcing energy from sometimes. And yeah, uh, talking to people around you, talking to family, that also helps, I would say.
Yeah, great. Yes, Vedansh.
I think for me, it's about learning. I'm particularly interested in learning different sports, and I think even in general, learning different skills. So I think that's something which you can take up for a month, and then because I think the improvement curve is much higher if you take up to learning something new. It can be learning a new language or learning a new sport or anything, right? Because if you take it up for a month, you see that the initial progress generally whenever you take something new is very steep, unless and until you become an amateur or a decent pro at it, then the learning curve, just stops. So I think initially when you just pick up anything new which you are interested about in any domain, I think it gives you a great sense of confidence once you know that within 10 to 12 days of regularly, let's say, putting half an hour or 1 hour daily, you're able to learn a new thing. So that builds a lot of confidence in you as a person and keeps you motivated and happy. This new thing can be anything that you're interested about in any domain. So for me, it's about learning new sport because whenever I just say, let's say, dedicate half an hour or an hour daily to it, you'd see that initially from you not being, let's say, if it's about learning swimming, so initially from you not even floating to you at least paddling for 10 seconds in water, that gives you great sense of accomplishment. That's something that I was afraid about, something that I was incapable of. I can get it sorted in a very short period of time, like 5 to 10 days. So one, that gives you a great sense of happiness that you accomplished something, and two, it builds confidence within you that no matter how downtrodden things are, or or no matter how worse the situations are, you'd still be able to do it.
Great. So Vidash is, I think, a very focused person, very focused on learning. That's very, I would say, rare to hear. Nice to hear that. Yes, Amit sir, what do you do?
Yeah, I try to. There's a concept called pies of life. So it stands for like the four Qs: the physical quotient, the intellectual, the emotional, and the spiritual quotient. So, like, based on some research and studies, it is found that these are the four main pillars of your life. And if you're not able to fulfill or not able to give educate quality time to any one of them, like in a regular basis, not maybe each day, you'll find that you're not at your best. So this is how I try to plan my day. So morning start with some kind of spiritual activities around meditation and all. And yeah, physically also I try to do something that maybe doing some exercise for 15, 20 minutes. Intellectually, I think the office work involves those research and some kind of coding and all, which is taken care. And emotionally, one thing is definitely like whatever friends and families I interact with them. And I like to, yeah, be part of such sessions where I'm able to share or guide or mentor someone. So this is another thing which I find very fulfilling. So yeah, I try to fulfill the spice of life, having some kind of schedule or routine around this, so that all are at least at some level I'm able to do something in each quadrant.
Great. Another new term, pies of life. It's so that was great information. Thank you, Amit sir. Okay, so we have more questions for the panelists, but before moving to that, I would just ask the audience, in case any of you have any questions, this is a good time to ask to our panelists in general or anyone in particular. You have the opportunity. And yes, please try to open your camera at least while you're asking question. That will be make it more personal. So yes, anyone would like to ask any questions?
Yeah, hi, Gaurav. Hope
Yeah,
I'm
yes, hello, Siddharth. Yes, sure, you are audible.
was very wonderful to be with people working in big tech. So thank you for everyone for being here, and I'm grateful to be a part of this panel. So my question is how to manage our inclination to scroll endlessly on social media, especially nowadays. A lot of, I mean, contents are there in a lot of social media apps are also there. So would any of you could suggest so that we can increase our focus concentration? Any tips can some please share? That would be helpful for.
Okay, so anyone would like to take this up?
Yeah, maybe I can share a few things which I try to practice or which help me. So one thing I think, if someone is already having that habit, so completely stopping it will be difficult because the brain will not accept it. Okay, it will revolt actually. So it's like you already have some habit and you're suddenly stopping it. So that will not work. So what would I recommend is having, so there are apps which allows you to set some kind of timer or which reminds you that you've already used this app for some amount of time. So that is one way to start with. So that also requires some kind of self-discipline, that when that app is telling you to stop, you get that signal. So at least that mind is not doom scrolling or endlessly just without thinking or thinking of that time is going. So that is one way to start. Or if you think that the self-control is not there and you may try to breach those guidelines and all, you can ask someone to have, you can give that control to someone else also. So that is also possible that someone else can set that time for you and you will not be allowed to open that after a certain amount of time, or maybe after certain, like maybe after 10, 11 or whatever, if you plan your day like this. So that is one way to start. So you are having that whatever habit, you can start with maybe half an hour or 45 minutes, then try to reduce this by 15, 10 minutes like this. So this is one kind of like way to stop it, and try to find, I think what we were discussing, something meaningful which gives you more energy. So it, as Vedansh mentioned, it can be some learning some new skill or something like that, because if you find something more interesting than what you're already doing, so it will be easier for you to give the other habit you which you want to live. So you'll need to find some kind of replacement. Otherwise, if the time is there, so that famous quote, like empty mind is the workshop. So if you have that free time, and this is the most easier thing which you can do, open your mobile and start like browsing some app. So yeah, two things to summarize. Try to limit it by some kind of parental control or some kind of controls, and finding an alternative engagement which is more fulfilling and engaging than browsing that app. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Very similar in lines with what Vedansh was saying. Great. So I think that is very clear. Uh, Yes, thank you, Siddharth, also for asking this important question. Yeah, hope that answers.
Thank you, Amit sir.
Yes, yes. Anyone else would like to ask any question for panelists?
I have question. I have
Yes, Dipanshu, go ahead.
what is the what is role of people around us in maintaining our focus?
Okay, a difficult one, I would say.
Yeah, can
Yes,
you, Gaurang, can you repeat what you said?
yeah. Like he was saying that what is the role of people around us in maintaining our focus? Like how does it affect?
Yeah, maybe I can answer that. So, uh, it's very clear that people are the most animate things that you would interact with in your environment. So they are the most important ones who can make or break your focus. Over the time, working or even outside of work, you have to carefully decide who are the people who give you energy by creating an interaction with you, and who take out your energy. And that would really decide if they are helping you focus or taking away your mental peace. And you have to develop the skill to distance yourself from people who will sabotage your peace and mental focus. And you should do it in a way which is not harmful to you or to them. So that part is important. Uh, but to particularly answer your question, yeah, humans are very, very crucial, and the most crucial thing to your focus. And you can have interaction with people which can make your day off, or make your day good. So it's also on your part to be how much you allow yourself to be affected by what kind of interactions.
Yes, great. That was very well answered, Ujjwal. Thank you. Thank you, Dipansh, for your question.
Thank you,
Yes,
Joe.
anyone last question? Anyone like to ask? Mm, okay. Yes, I think let's have another question till then. Yeah. So let's have a quick, I would say, rapid fire. And after that, in case someone else has a question, they can ask back again. So rapid fire. So all of you can answer in, I would say, one word or one sentence. So I'm going to ask you quick questions. You can try to answer. We have that. So first question. So one mobile app which you wish you would use less. Like we have sometimes we use a lot of mobile apps. So there's one app which you think it would have been better if you could use less, but you are not doing that. Yes. Vedansh?
I think YouTube maybe because I think it's distracting in a sense that you open it with the meaning of learning something, but then you doom scroll it and then
Okay.
scroll it with just no end. So yeah,
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yes. Okay. Yes, Amit sir.
Yeah, maybe WhatsApp because for me it's like you get notification messages and the surge is there always to see it instantly. So sometimes it's like you're doing something and you get that notification. So yeah, WhatsApp, I think it's rapid fire, so I'll not elaborate. Yeah, WhatsApp is the answer.
Okay. Yes, Ujjwal.
Yeah, for me also it would be YouTube. That's the only social media platform I use.
Okay. So two for YouTube. That was not what I was expecting, but good to hear that. Yes. The next one. Best idea for a 5 minute work break. What will be the best thing you can think of if you would like to have a 5 minute work break? Yes, Ujjwal.
Uh, I would go to some place where I can stare off at some far place. It would be the balcony behind me, and I would see the clouds or something like that at a very far distance. It would help my eyes, and not for 5 minutes. I think it's very long, but yeah, that comes to my mind.
Okay. Yes, Vedansh.
I don't know if you have a tea shop or a coffee shop nearby, that should help. If not, I mean, if 5 minutes, if it's a strict 5 minute break, I think it's just you just closing your eyes, given that you would most likely be working on some or the other screen. It's just giving probably rest to your mind, just washing your face. If it's a hard 5 minute break.
Okay. Yes, Amit sir.
Yeah, I think living your work is like getting up from there and doing some kind of physical movement, maybe a short walk or some other physical movement.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's So next question. Yes, so I would say one book or one video, or it can be anything for that sort, that changed your thinking around this topic. So any one book or one video which you liked and which you implemented in your life. So tough one, I think. Yes, Amit sir, like to share.
Yeah, I think if it's book, it's Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
So yeah, that was yeah, still I'm trying to understand it, but yeah, that was the book, I would say.
Okay. Great. Yes, Vedansh.
I think there's a book named The One Thing. I'm forgetting the author's name. But it's basically about how you should have one single priority and then focus all your attention towards it. Because if you try to handle multiple things at work, you'll probably go disarray and then won't be able to do well. So I think it's just figuring out the most important thing, be it for the day or for your week, etc. And then trying to, let's say, put all your energy into that sole work, and then the sub priorities can wait. So I think that really helps. One, just offload work off your shoulders, and then two, you perform well given that you're focusing all your attention to that one single thing.
Okay. Great. Yes, Ujjwal.
Uh, there was this book I read a long time ago. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Um, I found it nice.
Okay. Great. All of three. Just one book. All of you can go through that. Which one book you would like? Okay. So last question, I would say. So, not exactly a rapid fire, but if you can say, so one line of advice which you would like to give to all your juniors who are hearing us, that what habit they should inculcate for mental peace. So what is one thing they should try to include in their lives? Yes, Vedansh, you like to go first. Yeah.
I think it might be that focus on your work, mostly the controllables. because things keep coming and going past you, and it will always continue coming and going past you. You'll always reach high points, low points, no matter what. I think so. All of this would affect your mental state in some or the other way. But if you just focus on your controllables, I think you would be more happy.
Okay, great. Yes, Ujjwal.
Um, the one line would be that believe in yourself and play the long game. And yeah, for long things compound and it can get in your favor.
Yes, very important. Yes, Amit sir, most experienced one.
Yeah, I think having some regulation in your day-to-day life. So it's easy sometimes when you're young to have that 24 into 7 kind of schedule and you will feel that energy every time. But I think for that long run, also what Ujjwal is mentioning, this is required that you have some kind of regulation around the day you have, and especially around the sleep hours and all. So you find that after some time that hits you badly, and mostly around health. And when health is down, other things are also like takes a hit.
Okay. Yeah, I also feel regulation is very important. So thank you for sharing that. Okay. So I think this should be good for the day. But yes, in case we have any last questions from our audience, it's a good time to ask.
Yes, I have one question for Vedansh, sir. So, McKinsey, very uh, like very reputed company, and many students would like to join this company, and which means very high pressure. And like, how did you manage your working hours during your internships? Can you like briefly explain?
Okay, so I think one of uh, the entire consulting profession is structured in a manner wherein you don't have specific work hours. So work can catch you up anytime, either at day or night. So I think it's about being clear with your managers, with your team, and having 1 hour or 1.5 hour, whatever specific time for you specifically. So you still get an idea as to wherein you're expected the most, right? It can be a middle of the day or middle of the night. So therefore, you can obviously find a time slot within that 24 hours wherein you keep it specifically for yourself. And then, I don't know, you can just focus on your physical activity or thing that keeps you fresh or thing that you feel is important for you. This is specifically on weekdays because I think weekends you'd definitely be able to find a longer time slot wherein you can probably go for a walk, go for a ride, or probably watch a movie if that's something that you want. But I think for the weekdays, given that the work hours can be really long and it can be unpredictable, so you with your manager can figure out a time slot wherein you can, let's say, devote that specific time specifically to yourself, based on what you would want to do and what your priority is, so that you feel good for the rest of the day. So yes, that's probably the only way.
Okay. Yes, great. Great answer, Vinesh. Thank you, Mitesh. So I think it's also time. So we'll end up here. So I just posted the link tree for Empower Next. Yeah, I will just paste that. So all of you. So this was our third and final session of this Career Launchpad series. But surely we keep on organizing a lot of things. So if you want to stay updated, just visit us, subscribe to our, you can say LinkedIn or Instagram, WhatsApp, whichever way you prefer. But yes, we'll keep on keeping more sessions like this for all of you, for the students. And hope all of you enjoyed this one, this session, this series, the Career Launchpad. So yeah, that is it for today. Thank you. Thank you, Amit sir. Thank you, Ajbal, Vedansh, for taking out your time for this, giving this wonderful pieces of advice to your juniors. And thank you all the participants as well for joining us today for this session. So hope all of you could enjoy it and take at least one learning from this session. So also posting a feedback form. So you can post your responses or you can say your feedbacks there in case you have any suggestions, questions, anything. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day ahead. Hope to see all of you again sometime in future.
Thank you.